Hey everyone, welcome back to Life of Us, and in today's segment we're doing another custom build for the D&D Adventure board gaming series. This time it is a human monk class, and I'm very excited to do this class. Always been a fan of the martial arts, kung fu type character movies, Bruce Lee and the Shaolin Temple type stuff, and I've always wanted to do a monk class. This character was actually created for a friend of mine, for Adib. Adib, I know we can't physically play D&D right now because of the pandemic and the COVID virus, but God willing, those times will pass and we'll get around to actually playing this character. In the meanwhile, you can have a look and see what I've built for your request. So Chen Tiger Paw Han is our human monk from the mysterious monastery of Tajimora. Little is known about Chen except that he has been tasked with restoring the balance between the light and the dark. Known as Tiger Paw, he is skilled in the mastery of key energy. Okay, so the unique thing about this particular character, lots of influence from sort of the martial arts fighting movies and key and energy and all of the um, all of the martial arts and Eastern type influence on this character. One thing to note is that his base ability is called Channel Key. So before starting your hero phase, roll one energy die. So for the energy dice that I'll show you on the next slide, I'm using the energy dice from another game called Dice Masters. And you could pick up a pack of Dice Master boosters. You don't have to buy a starter. A booster pack with, and the booster pack will most likely have this little die that you see here. I'll show it to you. You can't. I'll try to zoom in on the camera so you can see it, but it's this little dice. Nothing fancy about it, but you'll get dice like that. You'll get other dice in that as well, which can be used for some of the other characters in the game, as we'll see. So I'm actually just using up old dice to uh, better or to build my characters with. Um, if you don't have any dice, or you don't have any boosters, or you can't find them in your area, give me a shout. I've got quite a bit of it, and I'll see if I can have them sent off to you at some point, depending on where you are in the country. Um, but his base ability is called Channel Key. So before starting your hero phase, you get to roll one of those little energy dice, and depending on what face you roll, you get to do certain things. So there we see we've got a fury face or energy face. The fury face being this little asterisks that you see over here. Let's see if I can get it in there. That's a fury face, whereas that 2 is an energy face. There we go. Okay, so if you rolled one without a star, you get no chi for that round. Roll one with a single star, you get +1 to attack or +1 to speed, so that's your base ability out the front. If you roll one with a 2 star, so depending on how lucky your roll is, you get a +2 to attack or +2 to speed. So really cool powers. Again, if you think these are OP powers, let me know, but they're actually built around a campaign that I'm busy building, which includes some very high level villains. So we need characters who have a little bit more buff to them than the standard characters you'd find in this game. If you're on an energy phase, you have to consult your utility cards, and there are plenty of utilities centered around our mysterious monk over here. Um, You'll see down in his power cards, he gets 2 at wills, he gets 3 utilities and 1 daily. And we'll get to the utilities in a bit. In terms of his base stats, 15 AC, 8 HP, 7 speed, and 4 surge value on HP. Um, so standard set of base powers or base abilities for the character. Base stats, not powers, abilities, base stats. Quite a high speed value, but he's a monk, so he's got to be fast, right? Let's have a look at the next slide. This is the dice that I just showed you. Just build it up so you can actually see. These are the energy dice that you get from the pack of Dice Masters. The booster, you don't have to buy the actual game, although it is a really cool game if you do plan on buying. Yeah, so you can use these, you get these energy dice in the boosters or in the actual game if you do buy it. And you just need 4 of them for this particular character build, although having as many of them as you like is not a problem. And let's move on and look at the next set of. So second, third, and fourth level, I'm not going to talk much about this. You can have a look at it on the blog. To note again that I've included level 3 and level 4, and to level up to those levels you either spend XP or you've got to spend gold, which you accumulate through the different adventures. Let's have a look at his at-wills. So, 3 standard at-wills as per the usual standard of the game. First one is called Tiger Paw, and you'll notice that the text or the subtext, flavor text that accompanies each of these power cards are sort of written from a, if you are a fan of martial arts, you'll probably pick up some quotes and some phrases from actual movies. Um, I can show you the path, but I cannot walk it for you. I'm not going to tell you where that's from. You can look it up. So his first at-will, Tiger Paw, attack one adjacent monster. If you hit, move the monster 1 tile in any direction. And it's a +7, and you'll notice that most of these attacks have a little asterisk at the end. And the reason why that star is there is because depending on what you roll on your energy dice, if you rolled a Fury, you could actually benefit from that. So if you remember, if you rolled a single star on a Fury dice, which is this one here, single star, that would give you +1, 2 stars would give you +2. So this attack could go up to 9 in the case of Tiger Paw. Flurry of blows could go up to 7, and leaping attack could go up to 8 if you rolled properly enough. Okay, so Tiger Paw, if you hit, move the monster 1 tile in any direction, of course, because it's a Tiger Paw. It's going to definitely push that monster somewhere. Flurry of blows, that sounds like a rapid attack, so you can attack twice. Attack one adjacent monster, then attack one adjacent monster. Leaping attack, move your hero adjacent to any monster within 1 tile and make an attack. So, really cool fighting style abilities for a monk. The daily powers. Okay, so dailies, we've got Tiger's Claw, Fist of Fury, and a Hadouken. There are 2 more, quite about 5 dailies to choose from, depending on how you want to structure your character. So, the first one, Tiger's Claw, it's a +9, again with the star depending on your roll. Does 3 damage on a miss, 1 damage. Attack 1 adjacent monster. On a hit, the monster is stunned. And you'll see on all of these dailies, on a hit, spend 2 ki to deal. Also give the monster -4 AC. To deal also give. There's a typo on that. I need to fix that. But on a hit, spend 2 ki to give the monster -4 AC. So you get to spend 2 ki. So whenever you roll a energy side, that on the energy dice, you can put it aside or place or put it aside to use at any time. So you can use it for daily power in this case and spend that energy to give the monster -4 AC. So you only roll 1 of these dice though. The only time you get to roll 2 of them is when you get to expert level or you have a specific card that allows you to roll an extra one. So when you roll a energy side, you can put that energy aside and then use it for any one of these daily powers. So for Fists of Fury, you can use that energy to deal +1 damage, and for Hadouken, you can use that energy to move all monsters 1 tile in any direction. So Fists of Fury says attack 2 adjacent monster with a single dice roll, and Hadouken says attack 3 monsters within 1 tile. This one does 2 damage, as does that. That's a +9, that's a +7. So fairly powerful fighting daily power cards. Let's have a look at the next 2 dailies. The next 2 dailies are not standard fighting dailies, so they don't do direct damage, but we have Qigong. Energy flows from within and flows from without. Be within and be without. Before starting your hero phase, roll 1 additional energy dice, and you get to flip that over. So you get to roll 2 of these, which definitely a lot more beneficial because you can actually use them to generate more energy and generate more ki for your character for that round. Crouching Tiger says place 3 HP tokens on this card. Whenever you roll there's a 0 face on an energy dice, that means you don't get any boost. You can remove 1 HP token from Crouching Tiger to make an additional attack during your hero phase. So not all is lost if you roll a 0 face or 0 fury with an energy dice. You can actually make use of it with this Crouching Tiger ability to deal an additional attack, depending again on how you want to play your character. Let's have a look at the utility powers now. So these utility powers are the core of our human monk character. So the first one, Tiger Power Pause, then we have Immutable Stance, Fearful Symmetry, and Be Like Water. All of these utility powers that you'll find form sort of the engine of how you actually build your fighting monk character. and none of them get flipped over. As you'll see, there's no flip this card over once it's used. Instead, it costs energy to actually make use of the ability on each utility card, or the ability on each utility. I'm rhyming without knowing. So let's look at the first one. For instance, Power Pause, it's called Elimination. For 4 key, Tiger Paws deals +1 damage. So your at-will Tiger Paw will then deal an additional damage for 4 key. So you roll an energy dice at the start of your game, and let's say you happen to roll an energy side, which is a 2. You then place it on this utility card, and then at the start of your next turn you roll another one. So if you happen to roll another 2 energy, you can then place it on the Power Pause utility card, and during that round you could remove the 4 energy to deal +1 damage with your Tiger Paw. So it all comes down to careful placement, to building up your energy, being patient with it, and then letting that energy channel out when you're ready to actually do a devastating attack. So that's kind of the theme around how this character benefits from energy. And in this case, for Power Pause, his first utility just deals +1 damage. Then we have Immutable Stance. That one again buffs up your AC. You can either buff your AC up by 2, or you could be patient and keep building up your energy to buff your AC up by 4. Remember, you get 4 of these dice at the start of your game, and you can use that for you can only roll 1 at a time per turn, but you can use that for to build up your character, build up your energy for your character as you progress. Fearful Symmetry, that for 4 key Determination, Flurry of Blows gains an additional attack. So Flurry of Blows, it's fairly low at will, only +5, doing 1 damage as you saw at the start, but you can do 2 of them. With this one you can do 3 of them, and if you played your cards correctly, or played your dice correctly actually, you could buff up that Flurry of Blows with Fury attacks if you roll Furies, or meaning one of these star sides on the dice. Then Be Like Water, for 2, this is Deflection now, for 2 key, -1 damage on any attack targeting 2 heroes, for 4 key, -2 damage on any attack targeting 2 heroes. So you get to place your energy on this card and then remove energy to negate attacks. Again, very useful. Let's have a look at the next set of utilities now. There we go, 3 more, so 7 utilities in total. Acupuncture, Restoration, for 6 key, regain 2 HP. So this is a slow build up to regain your HP. You'll have to probably go through 3 rounds, but think of it as a potion of healing, but a continuous potion of healing, that you're just placing energy on this card to eventually benefit from it at some point. Stillness of Mind, Rejuvenation, that's for 8 key, flip up any used daily power. So if you're happy just to go around saving up your energy to eventually flip up a daily power to use, Stillness of Mind would be the card you'd go with. And then Astral Projection, for 4 key, move your hero 1 tile in any direction, and because you are a ninja type monk and you're so cool, you can obviously walk through walls, so you can move your character through any wall. Very useful cards and very cool utility powers. Let's have a look now at the expert level powers for this character. So first one, before starting your hero phase, Key Mastery. Before starting your hero phase, roll 1 additional energy dice. So you start with 2 of these instead of rolling 1 of it. And that is bloody powerful for this character. Again, if you think that this is slightly OP, let me know in the comments. But like I said, I've built this around some very high level villains which are coming soon and which I'll be sharing with you shortly. The next one is Perfect Form, and Perfect Form is Fury rolls from energy dice now have the following stats. So if you rolled a dud, meaning the one without the staff, the Fury exclamation, it now actually has the ability of doing a +1 to attack and a +1 to speed, whereas when you roll the 2, instead of it being a 2 to attack, it's +3 to attack and +3 to speed, and the 1 is 2 and 2. Okay, so that changes your base character stats for energy dice. Last expert power is called Eye of the Tiger, and that says move your hero adjacent to any villain within 1 tile and make an attack. On a hit, the villain, and if the villain is not destroyed, it is stunned. Okay, so this is direct on attack on a villain, and if you don't destroy the villain is stunned. +13, doing 5 damage to the villain. But on a hit, you can spend 2 key to additionally stun all monsters on the villain's tile. So very, very useful. Doesn't necessarily defeat the monsters, but stuns all the monsters on the tile. So very useful and powerful attacks. And that, my followers and bloggers and friends, is our human monk character, Chen Tiger Bohan. I do hope that you have fun playing with him. Let me know how he spins up and if you manage to get your hands on these dice. If not, any regular dice could probably work. You could use the six-sided dice and then just denote even and odd to be the energy face and the fury face. You could have the odd side as so 1 to 3 on your standard six-sided dice as your fury face, and then for the energy face, if you rolled any even number, it would count as energy. Though that could get a little confusing because of the numbers. That's why I specifically went with these. They're not too expensive. A little booster pack will set you back something like 20 bucks. Yeah, it's not really that expensive. And the base set for the Dice Masters, they don't really go for much anymore. It's not played as much as it used to. But if you are really in need of them, let me know and I'll see if I can get them out to you after the lockdown and the pandemic. Thanks everyone, thanks for joining me, and join me again next time as I hopefully am able to unveil one of the villains for the series. Bye now.